So this is Aura.
Oh, right, okay.
And Aura is a 2013 filly, so she's only 3 years old. She has a lot of growing up to do. So Aura's mom is out in the field. So when you came up the driveway, there was a white mare grazing. That's her mother. And her father is the sequel. And the really cool thing, where's Martha? There's Martha. Martha owns...
And Bill.
And Bill. Martha owns her full sister, Jaya, who's a very highly decorated show mare. She won. She went to the Egyptian event, which is the premier show for Egyptian Arabian horses in this country, and she was named the overall Silver Junior Champion filly. So not only did she win her class, but then she went with the winners of all the other classes, and then they picked her as the top filly of the show. Aura went to the same show, and she was in an Egyptian Breeders' Challenge filly class. That was really competitive. That was a year when a lot of the big Middle Eastern farms came out to show, and she placed top 5. She's, we talked about some of the things that nature endowed this horse with that we call type and we cherish. But if you look at their face is, their head is shorter and it's wider. They have a pronounced bone, the jowl. And she has a bushy forelock. But see, their eyes are different. Their eyes are placed on the side of the head and lower in the head than most other horses. They're bigger. They have long eyelashes, so that when they close it and the sand is blown in their eye, they can close it.
That's why I'm not wearing a hat.
That's what I mean about how personable she is. These are the things that she does. The most ideal curve of the neck, they want it like a palm branch, like gently curving like a palm branch. They have a very short back, very close couple, and their top line is really strong. They're very level back here, and then this enables them to carry their tail much higher. These are all the characteristics that nature endowed this horse to be able to survive a brutal climate. Their nostrils are bigger because they need to suck in great amounts of air to cool in their body. Their tail is carried up higher so that as they suck in new air, the heated air keeps coming out of their body. So that's the efficient cooling system that they're endowed with. They were built for that cooling system. A lot of people talk about the Arabian head, and this is called jibba, and it's the bulging forehead. And I always wonder, because their heads are so much smaller and their brains are large, that this bulging forehead is a sign of like trying to get a brain to fit in such a small amount of space. It bulges a little bit. But it's something that we look in the breed. The more bulging forehead, the more star quality the horse has.
So Aura has a very unique pedigree. Her mom is Juno. Some of you have heard of the mare that we had that was shot. And so Juno certainly speaks to the strength of an Arabian war mare. Her father, as Ralph said, is a horse by the name of the Sequel. And the Sequel is a son of probably the most successful straight Egyptian Arabian ever to have lived, a horse by the name of the Desperado. The Desperado was bred to his full sister, and so which produced the Sequel. So Aura's pedigree is very intensely bred. And the reason that we do that is because it is the best predictor we have of future success, because we've intensified her pedigree. So she is a beautiful, beautiful filly, I think. The judges thought so too. She's just a sweetheart, and she is ready to kind of return to the show ring or to the breeding barn.
Yeah, she definitely has a future in the show ring. With some horses, with some Arab bloodlines, they're slow developers, and Aura is a slow developer, so I think just given the time for her to really mature, she could be brought into the show ring and do really well. The Bedouin had the horse living amongst them in the tribe, like the horses lived in the same tent. So it was very important for them to have a horse that was easy to get along with, because you can imagine if a horse was crazy, what life in that tent would be like. So you see that in the quality, even though, you know, it's many, many, many years since those days, these horses still retain that, you know, they get along well with people. They just love the companionship of people.